football as Gartner brings it up and runs straight into Geyer. Geyer brings him down 10 metres out, gets a caution on the run from McCallum. Freeman buried quickly. Penalty's gone to Balmain. Penrith too eager in the ruck, up inside the 5 metres. So it's Scott Gale who will kick for touch. That wind looks pretty strong down there, Bill Anderson.
Well, it is. It's gusting strongly from the south. It's, you know, Penrith's going to have a good lead at half-time, because if Balmain can keep this one tight, they're going to have a great advantage in the second half.
Mistake from Hanley, and Penrith come up with possession. Matt Goodman plays it. Just 35 metres out from the Balmain line. Here's Alexander. Now Cartwright. But Brooks is there to stop him. Gets a bit of a shove from Roach over the top. Simmons links up with Kelly. Where's Roach? There he is. Right on Kelly. Now Simmons down the blind side to Geyer, and the big fella charges into the defence. And around the ankles of Wayne Pearce. Now here's Alexander. The kick. Gale's knocked it on. It's gone forward. Gale recovers it. But, well, it's not ruled a knock on from McCallum. He ruled it came off his leg. As Podgy is caught by Goodwin. Messi played the ball.
A lot of nerves being shown by a lot of players out there. That penalty after 2 rucks against Penrith was ridiculous. Predictable, but ridiculous.
Pearce gets some roughing up right on the quarter line. Elias got it away to Freeman. Then Maguire. But Van der Voort was around his ankles. Now it's back for Elias. Down for Baker. Baker caught though by Brooks. He'll play it. 35 metres out from the Penrith line. Bradley ran into Goodwin, and Goodwin may have injured himself, but he's up okay. But Penrith get the penalty. Some pushing and shoving with Sirinen and Bradley.
Well, the referee's trying to assert his authority here with everybody being very, very uptight about the game. And on that occasion, it was Maguire, the Balmain prop, who was lying all over the player.
Ian, there's 2 problems for referee Greg McCallum in the opening 10 or 15 minutes here. What he's got to do is got to get these teams well apart in the play of the ball, but at the same time spend a lot of time close to the ruck, making sure that there's no real illegal play going into the tackles.
Maguire taking Kelly. Matt Goodwin. Interesting that Balmain won the toss here today and elected to run into this very strong wind. Now here's Mortimer. Pass for Izzard. Around the neck though was Roach.
The referee was quick to signify that that tackle was around the top of the chest.
Just have a high chest. Oh, some heavy stuff now as the Balmain forwards pour in. Geyer playing it. Penalty's gone to Penrith. This time it's Balmain up inside the 5 metres. So Neil Baker, first opportunity to put points on the board. Got a simple kick for him. The angle he has to work with is about 18 metres out. Baker has kicked 58 goals from 90 attempts this season. Yeah, Mark Guyer's got a fan club there on the fence. So Baker with this fairly simple kick. Makes no mistake, the Panthers draw first blood at Leichhardt. It's Penrith 2 and Balmain nothing.
David Brooks on the restart for Balmain. Plenty of venom already in the tackles from both sets of forwards. This will be the first chance for Balmain to try and get Penrith down into their own territory, down deep into their own quarter. Taken by Bentley. Straight into Maguire. Pearce is there to drive him backwards as well. Simmons for Van der Voort. Solid defence from Brooks on this occasion. They won't mess around, Penrith. They're going to go straight back for Baker. Just look at the strength of this breeze. Gary Jack was exceptionally deep. Read that well. Perfectly positioned. Runs away from Geyer. Well, the penalty's going to come. Bradley's something to say.
Yeah, Bradley all over the top. Got him in a Christmas hole, put him down, then lay on him there for what seemed an eternity.
Well, it's cost him an extra 10 metres for back chatting. Gale, the foot for touch. Right under the quarter line. So Balmain, their first chance to set up their attack. Listen to the crowd. Robinson on the run around. He's had a superb year for the Tigers. Maguire now. Still going into this Balmain forward pack. 10 metres out the Tigers. Sirenin on the outside. Dummy for him. Then came Pearce. Elias running from dummy half already. Dummying everywhere. Through 2 and 3 dummies. About a metre short, Elias. Maguire was bowled over without the ball. Pearce. Quickly for Roach. He gets outside his man. Flicks it back for Sirenin. Out for Brooks. Throws the dummy. Goes back in. The defence holds. Last tackle. Looking dangerous, Balmain. Well, the penalty. Peter Kelly is already up inside. There he is. Have a look at him. He was already up amongst the Balmain backline before the ball was even played. Right next to the post.
I think Peter Kelly's claiming to the referee that the Balmain player dummied before playing it. I'm not totally sure that I'm not agreeing with him there too. There did seem to be a pause, but the penalty goes to Balmain in a very kickable position for Brooks, only about 7 or 8 metres off centre, just outside the right-hand upright. You'll only have to belt it hard to make sure no deviation.
Wayne Pearce. Plenty of orders being given to his side. The opposing captain, I've had my eye on them in the opening minutes. They came together in the first couple of tackles of the game. They had plenty to say to each other. So it's David Brooks now. From about 12 metres out, right next to the posts. And no mistake from Brooks. So the scores at Leichhardt Oval, Balmain and Penrith, 2-all.
All right, let's have a look at these lower grade results. In the under-21s, Balmain 32, Penrith 22, a very high-scoring game, that one. In reserve grade, Penrith had a resounding 22 to Balmain 10 victory, so that was good work for Penrith in reserve grade.
Now here's Podgy with the football with some room to move too. Turns the pass back inside for Gardner, who's lost it. Knocked forward, picked up by Baker for Penrith. David Green from dummy half down the blind side. Every time Balmain get the ball, they seem to be spinning it wide. That's obviously where they want to play this game. Goodwin caught by Elias and Brooks. Now Kelly. Sirenen's there, and a good tackle from Sirenen on Kelly. Back for Geyer. Elias and Podgy in there that time. Alexander. Over Gary Jack's head. Rolling towards the dead ball line. And that's where it'll go. Bill, conditions like this be very difficult for fullbacks.
Well, it is difficult for fullbacks, but Jack judged that to perfection. What he did was put himself in a position whereby if Penrith did kick the ball over his head, it was always going to go dead in goal. That was great positional play by the Balmain #1.
So Roach bringing the ball back now. Michael Podgy still getting some treatment upfield for the Tigers. Hanley coming back across the ruck. Dummies his way. Straight through goes Hanley. He's going to need support. Podgy's let go of the trainer. He's bounced back for play. 22 metres out. Michael Popsy quickly brushed away the trainer to join in. Gardner makes a meal of it from the dummy half and breaks all the play down. Well, it was a great run from Ellery Hanley.
Yes, let's have a look at Ellery Hanley running very, very freely here and showing a clean pair of heels. Beautiful pass out there to Popsy. Popsy had to really get up from an injury situation to get involved with that. He stumbled and fell. And I've seen Russell Gardner make 2 mistakes today that I really don't believe that they're in his lexicon any longer. I thought he'd given all those sort of mistakes away.
Bradley standing again. He's been a little bit of a handful in the early moments for Balmain. Van der Voort. 2-all, the Tigers and the Panthers. Strong defence again coming in. Geyer. To his feet to play the ball just outside his own quarter line. Cartwright. High swinging arm from Steve Rhodes. The ball comes astray for Sirinen. Out to Elias. Again, oh, what a tackle! Oh, look out, Ben Elias.
If he didn't have a bad back before, he's got one now. That was a tremendous hit. See this again, shoulder high. Drove him back 6 feet. The State Bank replay is a cruel thing to watch. That's a terrible tackle. Totally legitimate, nothing wrong with it, but my heavens, it really contorted Benny Elias.
Brad Izzard has come up with the hit of the year.
Gee, good, I'm glad I've retired.
What a tackle. It's done him no harm. But just have a look at Ben Elias.
Oh, yes. Have a look at that again. State Bank replay just shows him creamed, absolutely creamed. And he's still flat in his back receiving treatment. I don't think there'll be any doubt that he'll get up, but whether or not he'll get up and continue to play is another matter.
Well, Brad Izzard has made sure that Benny Elias is down in no uncertain fashion, and that's brought the Balmain doctor out. So Elias with some magic water, as they call it, back to his feet.
And now he's got to go in the middle of the scrum and try to win the football. It's a cruel, cruel game.
Well, Steve Roach is going to hold him up there in the front row. A few words of encouragement for him. Straight back for Baker. They're going to turn Balmain around immediately. David Green's coming down quickly on the chase for Gary Jack. Jack brings it back. He'll meet Izzard, and he beats Izzard. Pointless. He can't get away from Chris Mortimer. Good play from Gary Jack. Hanley again. Goes across field successfully once more. Links up with Wayne Pearce. He's got Popsy outside. Steps inside Green. Back for Freeman. He takes the pass well. Bouncing off tackles is Freeman. The crowd love it as this game opens right up. Steve Roach. Away they go out wide through Gale. Hanley again. Simmons is up quickly. And as is Chris Mortimer. Gale out of dummy half, but there's a penalty against Penrith inside the 5. So Gale is going to look for touch as they try and set themselves on the attack. And last couple of minutes they've started to put things together well, Bill Anderson, Balmain.
They sure have. It's obvious where they want to play this game. Penrith are bunching a little bit around the play the ball in defence, Graeme, and Balmain are moving the ball quickly out wide. Scott Gale is 5'8", is purely playing a link role, and Hanley's cutting loose.
Well, Robinson tried to leap over the top. He was thrown over the shoulders of Geyer. Now Brooks just settling play down. 2 and 3 passes out is correct. You heard from Bill the way they start to catch this Penrith side short. Maguire on the fringe of the ruck, back for Freeman. Well, a swinging arm from Geyer. Lucky he's not that tall. Gale, Roach. Steps inside Chris Mortimer. Back for Scott Gale. Can't beat Izzard. 15 metres out the Tigers. Looking dangerous. Elias wants to set himself for the field goal. Off the side of the boot. Goes wide. And a little bit of a breather for the Panthers.
Nothing in this game. 2-all is the score. Maguire playing it forward. Now Elias running from dummy half. There's a gap for him. He's over the quarter line. Pulled down by Baker. Last tackle for the Balmain Tigers. And a penalty's gone to Balmain. Yeah, stupid play by Baker. Very stupid play there, and he's still going on about it, but Benny Elias took him on, went straight into him.
And the tackle came over the top by Simmons, but Baker's really gone on with it there and gave the referee no option but to award a penalty directly in front. Well, I think Benny must have been fooling us all with his back complaint, because he's really gone off like a scalded rabbit a couple of times in this match. Oh, he's putting on a bit of an act now for everyone's benefit. I think he's a tough guy, this bloke. Every time one of his teammates asks him how he feels, he shakes his head and says, "I'll be right, I'll be right."
There's one of them there.
Eh?
That was one of them there.
That's right. Everyone's asked, every one of the Balmain sides asked him how he is in the last 10 minutes.
David Brooks, as you saw, successful with his only shot so far. The Balmain have received 4 straight penalties. And this one should give them the lead in the game. From right in front. David Brooks puts it between the sticks. So Balmain have hit the front here at Leichhardt. 4-2 over Penrith. Neil Baker with the restart for Penrith. Down for Gary Jack. Just on his own line. Vandervoort is there to bring him down. One player that is not there for Balmain today after a nose operation is Michael Neal. He's with Bill Anderson sideline.
Mick, 4 points to 2. That's a handy lead considering you're going into the win.
Hold it there, Bill, because Big Block has got a pass away to Robinson. Robinson down the touchline. Infield pass to Hanley. Hanley looks for support. Is it there? Yes, it's there. In the head of Benny Elias. Elias will score onto the post. A sensational Balmain try. Started by number 11, Steve Roach.
Oh, splendid stuff. Beautiful football. And I think Ellery Hanley's repaid the Balmain club in that one movement there for whatever they've outlaid. It must have been a fair lump of money, piece of money. But here's Steve Roach making the break and going up the sideline. He links on the outside with little Robinson. Robinson gets a pass back inside to Ellery Hanley. Hanley desperate there to get the ball away. Eventually does one-handed to Benny Elias, who was on the burst. And Elias goes over underneath the posts. Beautiful try. See it again from head on. Here's Roach. He's really cleaned him up there in the middle. He's got through and a beautiful pass out to Robinson. Robinson goes until the defence comes to him. Gets a lob pass back into Ellery Hanley. Now this is where Penrith should have stopped the movement. This is where it should have been cleaned up properly. But he still kept an arm free and gave it to Benny Elias, who was still travelling on the middle. Now Elias strikes the goalpost and goes underneath the black dot. Beautiful stuff. And Balmain surge away now to a lead of 8 points to 2 with a kick at goal to follow.
Sensational stuff from Benny Elias and Steve Roach, Robinson and Hanley. That was the man who gave the final pass. He was allowed to stand, as Rex said, for what seemed like an eternity. But credit to Roach and to Robinson. 2 from 2 for David Brooks, and this one right in front should make it 3 from 3.
Ellery's loving the attention he's getting out on the sideline over there. The crowd adore him.
So Brooks, from right in front, sends the Tigers even further in front. It's all Balmain, 10-2 over Penrith.
Well, that great try by Balmain certainly interrupted our chat sideline with Mick Neal, no doubt a very happy man, Bill Anderson.
He sure is. Mick, 4-2 is a handy lead, but 10-2 is even handier.
You're not wrong, Bill, mate. That was a great try, great try.
It's obvious that Balmain want to play this game out wide. Were they the instructions?
Yeah, they were, mate. Out in the centre department, we think there might be a few defensive weaknesses out there, and that's where we're going to play the game, yeah.
Well, let's see if they are. Thanks for talking with us.
No worries, Bill.
Well, they're stretching them on the fringe of the rucks and out wide. Missed tackles. Penrith, they've come up with 10 in this first half against the 3 from the Tigers. Sirinen. That's where they're attacking continuously on that fringe of the ruck. 1 and 2 passes out. Elias, the try scorer, dummies his way through again. Away goes Ben Elias, another dummy. The pass around the back, taken well by Bentley. Balmain really are opening up this Penrith defence. There it was, the pass from Elias. Just couldn't get it out to Hanley. Now we've got a touch judge in. Whether one of the Balmain players was interfered with in back play, this would have to be against the defending side. Calling out Graham Bradley. Trouble again with McCallum. So if this is the case, you would expect him to be spending some time in the sin bin.
Well, we'll see if we can pick it up in the back play there.
Well, there it was up in the top that Bradley knocked over.
That's right, just on the left of the screen, not clear, but he's been given 5 minutes in the sin bin. Roy Simmons having a judicial debate with him about the relevance of him being sent from the field. I suggest that he better shut up and cop it, because I reckon 5 minutes is probably a pretty fair due for what took place.
Well, Gale will look for touch in what has been a sensational first half so far for Balmain. Now down to 12 men for 5 minutes, the Panthers. They have a terrific breeze at their backs. Roach for Robinson. Couldn't get his pass around for Jack. Maguire. He and Roach have certainly created plenty of problems for Penrith. Freeman. Gale. Pearce goes without it. Hanley again beats Izzard. Out he goes wide. Ball's been knocked down by a Penrith player. Izzard's offside. You'll just tackle the Balmain player. 6 more tackles. Elias. Set for the long pass. There was no runner there. Crashed to the ground by Kelly. He looked up and gave him a bit of a stare. The little chip from Maguire now sends Baker across. He beats Maguire. Can't get around Gartner. Sheridan finishes him off. Penrith in plenty of trouble just out from their own line. Strong defence on Izzard.
Izzard will need to do some Herculean things in attack, because he's been threadbare in defence.
The two opposites, the former roommates of the Kangaroo Tour in '86, Elias and Simmons. Alexander. Better kicking away from Jack. Bouncing towards touch. Great kick from Greg Alexander to get them out of trouble.
Yes, that's the best part of 60 yards too. Gary Jack had positioned himself deeply, and he realised that there was no real reason to sprint after that. It went over the sideline on the Balmain quarter. The scrum will go down, and it'll be a Balmain feed.
So the Panthers in all sorts of trouble. We've got a strong breeze behind them. 8 points behind on the scoreboard as Gary Jack tries to slice through an opening. Back to Scott Gale. He's been tripped up late, and referee McCallum saw it and gives the penalty.
Yes, there it was. Gale going down. The State Bank replay doesn't tell a fib about those sort of things. Brought undone with a deliberate trip.
So Gale will try to find touch. Gee, it's been all Balmain, hasn't it? They've been really putting Penrith under pressure. 6 straight penalties to the Tigers have certainly helped.
Yes, running with the breeze. Frequently a team looks good in attack.
Robinson. What a great season this young man's had.
So,
An awful mix-up there.
yeah, they'd overrun him then, and he deliberately fell over to not compound the error by giving a forward pass.
Roach. One hands it to Hanley, but he's still able to offload. Izzard can't put this man down. Robinson down in back play, being treated by the Balmain trainer. I don't think Izzard has tackled Ellery Hanley yet.
I feel that he's doing well when he gets a hand to him, actually.
Now here's Pobji. Last tackle now for Balmain. Elias tries the field goal again, and this time it's wide as well.
Here's the unsightly thing of Robinson being taken from the field. He's evidently done some damage to a knee. And Bill Anderson, we've got number 33 on.
We sure have. It's Ross Conlon, and that's an unaccustomed number for him.
Yes, Conlon on to replace this unfortunate sight. Clint Robinson being carried from the field. And Bradley comes back from the sin bin.
Kelly. Straight into Pearce. Now Alexander again has switched sides of the field. Through a dummy to Simmons. But unlike Benny Elias, he can't find his way through. Last tackle for this Penrith side now. Alexander. The kick into the end goal for Bentley. He's got there. It's a try.
No, disallowed.
Well, he's disallowed it. Bentley looks around in amazement.
The suggestion is that he's knocked this on. There's the little grubber going through on the State Bank replay. Well, there was a player, Benny Elias, directly in the way. If we can see that from head on, we'll get a better look. Well, in my view, he bounced that ball. I think referee McCallum's come up with the right decision there. Apparently bounced it from about 6 or 7 inches.
Brooks. So Penrith go without. There's the scoreline, 10-2. And Balmain, we repeat, running into a very strong breeze. So what a great first 40 minutes. Pearce. They've worked out this Penrith defence very, very well. Elias has lost it. So maybe the Panthers aren't done with before half-time. Vandervoort. Wrapped up by Gale. Alexander. For Baker. And Izzard. Trying to get to the outside of Hanley. He did, but his pass went astray. He was touched by a Balmain player, says McCullum. So there's 6 more tackles. Green. Right on halfway at Penrith side. Simmons for Cartwright. Well, now he's lost it. And Goodwin recovers the error, but it will come back for the scrum.
Yes, I think that was a case of watching the opposition come at him there. There was real evidence of him looking up at the opposition coming in, the defending player coming toward him.
Bill, a lot of passing from Greg Alexander and Royce Simmons. I think Alexander's certainly got to cut loose and run some more.
Yes, and so is Royce Simmons. It's becoming pretty predictable, Graeme, and Penrith also finding it hard just to go forward.
Well, here goes Gary Jack. From the scrum base, always so difficult he is for any team, especially when it goes down centre field. Opens up the play for him. Maguire now. He's had a terrific first half. Elias switches play quickly for Gale and Pearce. Back inside for Popji, who knocked the ball down. So the pace of this game taking its toll in the first half, and a lot of handling errors in the last couple of minutes. Only a minute away from the siren, maybe less. Front row is Goodwin and Roach going at each other. Well, Steve Roach bouncing in there with his head. McCallum said he didn't like it. Plenty to say, Roach as well. So it'll still give Penrith a last opportunity, maybe. Time nearly up in the first half. Simmons quickly takes the tap. Well, the pass went to absolutely nobody. Maguire picked it up. And in the bargain picked up about 10 or 12 metres for himself. Freeman. Chris Moran was up very, very quick with the Penrith backs. He found a hole, and away goes Gale. Has Alexander got the pace? He's got, oh, just ankle tapped him. He was away. Desperate stuff from Alexander. They're holding him down in the play of the ball. This will be a penalty. Baker's in the bin, and another opportunity at a goal.
Yes, Neil Baker really going on, but let's see that beautiful run there. It was put Scott Gale into the opening, and he cleared away. We were conjecturing about whether he was fast enough to get to him, Alexander. Well, he was with a dive and an ankle tap. Then Gale desperately tried to get to his feet, but was held down in the tackle by Neil Baker. So there's an opportunity just before the bell rings for Balmain to go further ahead.
Well, here's Neil Baker.
Well, they've made a meal of that. You can see that. Alexander's even standing over there with his legs in between the 2 legs.
Elias off quickly. The siren and time is up. Just waiting for this kick to be taken, so he's off to see the doctor about his back, obviously. 3 from 3 for Brooks. The bonus for the Tigers that Ross Conlon is out there as well to handle kicking duties. That man there. Don't be surprised if he gets a long-distance shot in the second half with the breeze at his back. David Brooks with a possible 2-point bonus for the Tigers right on half-time. Strikes it well, getting away across the face of the goalpost. That's all the action to a brilliant first 40 minutes by Balmain, and a standing ovation for them from the crowd, and a good crowd at Leichhardt too. 10-2 at the break. The Tigers over Penrith.
Too late. Leichhardt Oval for the second half of what has been a very exciting game of football. We've got a scoreline that has Balmain in front of the Penrith side by 10 points to 2. And we have one change in the Penrith side, Bill Anderson.
Yes, we do. Jeff Gerard wearing 13 in place of Matt Goodwin. And I must say that coach Ron Willie was pretty disappointed at his team's atrocious defence. Warren Ryan's given the obvious instructions. Balmain are going to use the win, but also push the ball out wide when the opportunities occur. That means these Penrith wingers could have a hard time in this second 40 minutes.
Is there anything said to Brad Izzard about handling Ellery Hanley?
Well, I didn't get that far with Ronnie Willie, but I'll tell you what, he's got his hands full with him, hasn't he?
Sure has. Okay, the Panthers with it all to do, behind on the scoreboard and running into a very strong wind in this half. Cartwright. See, they're very bunched, Penrith. Now Simmons has a little scamper from dummy half and makes a lot of ground. That's something that we didn't see much of in the first half. Has the ability to do it. Mortimer. Back for Alexander, who we haven't seen running very much at all. That's a terrible pass which has been knocked back by Hanley and then knocked down by Freeman. Conlon will eventually pick it up, but there were 14 knock-ons before we got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a set of keys have been used as they were found just outside the third trial. So obviously they must belong to the
Scrum has gone with the feed. Vandervoort is caught 10 metres from the halfway mark. Mortimer, now Izzard floats one out for David Green. Plenty of room to move. Green got over the halfway mark. Don't forget that Penrith are still a man short with Neil Baker sent off right on half-time into the sin bin for 5 minutes. Well, Kelly's out there still. And Gerard now. Alexander. Last tackle signal. Back to Simmons. He puts the kick in the air. Jacked up for it. Doesn't take it cleanly. Picked up, but knocked on. And McCallum will play the knock-on.
Maguire's going up there. He's been kicked in the face, I think, accidentally by Alexander when he was trying to get to his feet and play the ball quickly right back. But that incident there showed the Penrith side badly knocking on just with nobody in front.
Well, Gerard is out there in this half, but so is Kelly. So the man missing in the Penrith lineup is Matt Goodwin. And Balmain have it 10 metres out from their own line. Bobji. Let's check those first half tackles. 82 tackles for Balmain with Brooks showing the way. And Goodwin, the man missing in the Penrith side, was the leading tackler for the Panthers.
Well, another penalty against Kelly on that occasion for his inability, or whatever way you want to put it, to get away from the tackle player. Well, there it is on the State Bank replay. You'll see the way he goes on. He's still on top of him. You can count 7 or 8, 10 seconds here by the time he gets off.
So Gale will kick the touch. He's able to find it just short of the quarter line. Elias gave it away to Conlon, reminding you Conlon on to replace the injured Clint Robinson, who damaged a knee in the first half. Now Neil Baker making his way back onto the field after his stint in the sin bin. Roach to Sirinen. Eventually put down. Elias wants it. Over David Green's head and over the touchline. Now, did Green get a hand on it?
Well, the touch judge says he didn't. It clearly went over his head on that occasion. Let's see how he goes on this time. Well, he might have touched it there. He may well have touched it there.
It's not going to affect things. Penrith are going to come up with the feed for Mortimer and Bradley. Pushes off Scotty Gale, gets away from Hanley. Izzard was trying to support him. He had trouble getting around Conlon. Jack tries to force him out wide towards touch. Well, now the Panthers are going to come back. Well, Gale, I should say, is the man that was laying all over Penrith on this occasion.
Yes, Scotty Gale. Gary Jack was the man that actually brought him down. Gale came in late and refused to get off. The State Bank replay showed it.
The shadows creeping across Leichhardt as Penrith try and mount a bit of a comeback. Simmons. Well, it's the second occasion they've set themselves for some short passing from cap restarts. Nothing's worked for them. Kelly. Strongly taking play into the midfield. Well, now he's got a wrestling match going with Brooks. Dummy from Simmons now for Vandervoort. Keeping play very close to the rucks. Penrith. Alexander. Mortimer. Long pass out for Bradley. He'll play the ball back for Mortimer. Gerard went without it. Very sloppy play from Penrith. Freeman and Mortimer exchange some words in back play as Elias brings it back for Balmain now. Jack. How quickly will Balmain go back for the kick? Will they need it, says Gary Jack, as he tries to make his own way out of the quarter line. Freeman. To Maguire. For Roach. Standing back and waiting as Penrith. Steve Roach says thank you. Last tackle now for Balmain. Gale has his kick charged down by Simmons. 6 more tackles. Gary Jack. Plenty of room to move. Right up the middle goes Jack. Gets a good pass away for Gale. So Penrith really didn't put their defence together when Simmons charged that down. Now Gale, Elias rather, was chased by Alexander. They've come together. Geyer separates the two of them. Penrith, what can they do? Izzard. Mortimer. From a standing start, he finds Izzard again. Trying to brush off Freeman. Desperate, really desperate for a try this Penrith side. Gerard. Kelly. 10-2. 8-point cushion for the Tigers. Alexander. He's got to cut loose. He really has got to start to run. Plenty of catching and passing. We mentioned it in the first half. He's got to give them something to think about. Mortimer. Pass back inside. Izzard will pick it up. Gerard. Puts Bradley into a gap. Down to the corner. He races away from Gale. He's going to score in the corner. Well, they were really showing nothing with the ball, Penrith. And that try really did come from nothing. It opened right up out wide.
See it again on the State Bank replay. It was good-looking stuff. There was Alexander running nicely, slipping a pass back to Mortimer, who did very well to clear the ball. He was held by 2 players. The ball ricocheted off one player, went to Izzard. He spun quickly and gave it to Gerard. Gerard found Bentley in the middle there and gave it to him, put him through into a gap. Now, at that point, he had a support on the outside in green, but I think he realised that he had the pace to go on with it, and he decided to do so, and it's a good try, a very good try, reminiscent of the try he scored up there at Parramatta Park. So, a good, incisive burst. I'm not so sure that it came from nothing. They were set to move the ball on that occasion, and the old rugby league axiom about running better going into the breeze comes to mind.
24 years of age. He has played well for Penrith. Made a couple of breaks. Elias in trouble with the referee. Neil Baker takes a deep breath. Strikes it well. The touch judges have followed it in. Terrific goal under pressure from Baker. The game really alive at Leichhardt. 10-8 the Tigers lead.
What price the field goal? Well, the tension really on now as Conlon restarts. Gone down for Cole Bentley. Oh, it's a solid hit from Pearce. Now here's Vandervoort. Runs into Brooks. Right on the quarter line. Simmons from dummy half. Made about 5 or 6 metres. Gerrard to Kelly. Now to Bradley. Back to Gerrard, then on to Simmons, and then on to Van der Voort. But Sirenen coming across, covered him pretty well. Held by Pearce. Mark Dwyer. "32 metres out." Simmons gave it away to Cartwright. His kick is straight down Gary Jack's throat. Jack was caught by Kelly, just short of the halfway mark. Hodgie, this Penrith side playing to stay in the top three. Balmain playing to stay in the race for the semi-finals. And this kick is rolling towards the touchline, but Baker is going to have to pick it up. He'll have to pick it up. He didn't. It's a try. Coleman scores. Neil Baker went to sleep. Unbelievable. Baker stood there, watched for the ball to go dead, and suddenly, from nowhere, came Ross Conlon.
The State Bank replay, this is the most incredible try you'll ever see in your life. A first-grade footballer allowed the ball to go into the in-goal area. There it is. There's Neil Baker, and he takes all the time. Well, I thought he could have had a conversation there. He had any amount of time to get the ball dead. All he had to do was to look at the pace he's come up to the ball too. Really dreadful play by Baker. That will be talked about for years, that try. The day that Baker lulled himself into a sense of false security and walked up to ground the ball.
Well, unbelievable. Neil Baker. I didn't see it. You wouldn't believe it, would you?
No. That's heartbreaking for a coach like Willie. How do you coach that out of a play? Tell me that.
Well, they shake hands with the reserve grade coach, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ross Conlon is taking over the goal-kicking duties, and this wind will certainly help him because it will bring the ball in towards the goal mouth area. He's kicked goals from here many times.
I reckon he'll be aiming about 7 or 8 yards outside the right-hand upright.
He's got to play for a big hook here, but the wind will certainly help. Starts it out wide, but the wind is not going to bring it in. Way too wide. No result. But Balmain have shot to a 14-8 lead over Penrith. Unbelievable.
Gale. A lot more grafting their play, Bill, this Balmain side.
It's a different style of football with the wind, Graeme. They've been kicking the ball and building the ball up through the forwards. I don't think we'll see them spread it much until they get down into Penrith's half of the field.
Well, that's where we'll obviously look for Ellery Hanley, who had a great first half. Sirenen coming from deep. Takes 3 and 4 men to bring him down. And McCallum is going to call somebody out. Geyer. And this will be an opportunity for Conlon from near halfway, one would think.
Well, the State Bank replay shows the start of that, and Geyer was intent on getting involved with Sirenen. Here it is again. Even from a sort of a position where he wasn't involved in the tackle, he still swung his arm, his left arm, in a horizontal position.
Well, Ross Conlon had gone in looking for the kick at goal, but Wayne Pearce has decided to keep the pressure on, looking for the try. Conlon, listen to the chant come up now from this good crowd at Leichhardt. Conlon on the runaround. Straightens and takes the tackle. Plenty of back chat from Freeman, who came together with Geyer. Dummying again from Elias. Nearly right through. Well, here's an easier shot at 2 points. It's not the Penrith Panthers' day. Right in front of the post.
Tackle had been called, according to the referee, because the ball was reefed out legitimately enough by Cartwright, but that's the way the cookie crumbles when the referee says, and nobody here can hear it, but when the referee says tackled, from that point on, that player has got to be left alone.
So Conlon from right in front, unsuccessful with his first attempt.
I don't know that I'd be changing from Brooks, who had 3 from 3 with the simple kicks, but anyway, here's Conlon.
So Craig Connor there on the sideline in 26. Conlon puts it out of the ground from right in front. So an important goal that. Balmain 16, Penrith 8. There's Kelly on the sideline. And there's Craig Connor, his replacement in 26. Alexander quickly gets us underway. Jack. Well, another swinging arm from Geyer. Lucky that he didn't meet the eye of the referee. Well, he's signalling on the shoulder. I must admit, it's looked a bit higher than that. Jack is still down. Roach has plenty to say to the referee. So does Freeman, has something to say to Geyer. Well, it went sailing over the top of the head.
I don't think there's any reason really to comment on that. I think Guy's gone a little bit funny this afternoon. I think he's frustrated with the way the game's gone for himself. And he's reacting in a negative way.
If the last swinging tackle brought a penalty against him, so should have that one. Maguire. Maguire's not, I should say, Geyer is not slowing down. He chases Hanley now. Hanley gets away from him. Elias shaping to kick, couldn't get it in. Maguire was there to support him. Last tackle for the Tigers. Gale quickly looks for touch. Oh, great bounce too. Terrific kick.
Scott Gale showing his value as a player that can play pretty near anywhere in the back line. Comes up with a very good relieving kick. A gain of around about 48, 49 metres. And the scrum will go down. It'll be a Penrith feed, but they're well out of trouble, Balmain.
Well, it's gone straight through the tunnel. This time it's gone with the feed. Mortimer got it on to Bradley. Now Alexander, who really hasn't shown anything out here today, but look at Izzard. Izzard's made a good bust over halfway now. Looks for support. Found it too in Alexander. Alexander in and out. Over the quarter line, still going. Got support. Got the pass away, which is picked up by Izzard. That is a great Penrith try. Started by Izzard and finished by Izzard. Well, that's gone a long way to rectify the problems he had in the first half with defence on Ellery Hanley. Watch it now. Here he goes. This is Izzard. Strong defence. Got through a Wayne Pearce tackle there, who went a bit high. He beat Jack Pointless, stepped off his left foot, looked for support there. Bounded in Alexander. Alexander goes up the field. Props goes out on the outside. And then when he's tackled from behind, pops a pass beautifully to Izzard. That was a classic pass there, the last one. And in he goes for the try. A really good-looking bit of football there. Here's Izzard again, going through the Wayne Pearce tackle. He props and stops Gary Jack. Bang, that's him done. He looks for Alexander, gives to Alexander. He continues the run on the outside, props and goes further outside. This last pass is a classic. It really is. He's held it up beautifully, and it goes across the players there, straight to the unmarked Izzard, who started it and finished it. So let's give him a big accolade for that one. Yeah, great effort from Izzard, but it's amazing. We've been saying all afternoon that we're waiting for Alexander to run, and probably the first time that he's had a decent run and a try results. Now Neil Baker with the conversion attempt. Turns his back on it. That means it's a goal. And the touch judges put their flags in the air. So Penrith right back in it. Balmain 16, Penrith 14. A big dummy from Elias. See, that's got him some yardage today, that dummy. But he's wounded again. Backache. Freeman's kick ahead. Bentley takes it safely. Bobji holds him.
So it's now Penrith to work play away inside their own quarter. Sloppy play the ball, and the penalty's going to come for holding the man playing the ball.
Yes, just watch it here. He misses at the first attempt. He gets it at the second. He was being held. That's illegal, but every referee lets it go. I don't really see why he had to penalise on that occasion.
Bill, what would you be looking for in this Penrith attack?
Well, the first thing I'd do, Graeme, is I'd make a positional change. I'd change Leichhardt and Chris Mortimer, and what that would achieve would be this. I think Chris Mortimer would do a better job of looking after Handley in defence than Leichhardt has, and I'd like to see Leichhardt closer to the play in attack.
Well, a little bit of a roll on for Penrith now. The ball was reefed out. Well, Simmons asked the question why the penalty wasn't forthcoming if he was asked to play the ball.
And he's saying you gave a penalty up there a little while ago. Why didn't you give one there?
Well, you can sympathise with him on this one.
A little bit uneven is referee McCullum.
Jack away from Baker. Out for Gardner down the touch. There's support from Freeman on the inside. If he hadn't passed it, I think he just about overran him. Jack for Gale. Stepping, beating the forwards. A converted try would just about give them that space now to get home in this game. Jack. The crowd calling for the try. Trying to lift the Tigers. Roach dummying on the blind. Coming back the open. For Gale. Pearce. Switches play for Brooks. Can't lick up out wide for the backs. Handley in a dummy half. Keep your eye on him. Stepping. Straight through. Last tackle. Freeman has Elias standing flat if he wants a field goal. He doesn't. Into the in goal for Maguire. Well, a fumble from Green. The pressure well and truly showing.
Yes, a good little kick by Benny Elias here. It forced Green to go for it. And he loses the ball there, and it goes over the dead ball line. So that's a line drop out. Balmain come up with the ball again, and with only 12 minutes to go. Things are looking fairly good for Balmain at the moment.
6 more tackles come the way of the Tigers. Against the best defensive lineup in the rugby league. Jack. There really has been a lot going into the tackles. Freeman all nearly through. Great tackle from Chris Mortimer. Elias for Roach. The big man tries to stand. That's where they are. 12 metres out. Elias for Brooks. He just takes it to the defence, but he takes it strongly. Dyer trying to hold him down as long as legally possible for Freeman and Gale. The defence up quickly again to keep on trying to force this Balmain play back on the inside. Last tackle for them. Dummy from Freeman again. Right up the middle for Elias. Flicks it out the back. Recovered by Balmain, is it? He's going to play a knock-on.
Yes, well, the State Bank replay shows Elias getting the ball. Whether he passed it there or knocked it on, nobody will know.
Minutes. You've read all about this match all week long. 16-14, the Tigers just holding on. Gerard. Back for Simmons. He's run a lot more from dummy half in the second half. Back for Gerard again. Shape the pass it out wide. Just pushes one back and knocked on by Penrith. So they keep on pushing the pass and coming up with mistakes.
This is Gerard trying to get a pass away, but it was just impossible for him to do so, and Van der Voort couldn't handle it.
McCallum still trying to keep these front rows apart, waiting for the ball. Balmain again in possession. Freeman just runs from the scrum base. They're quite happy to keep the ball down this end of the field. Just working away, Pearce. The first 40 minutes has set up this lead for Balmain. Elias, this man, one of the stars for them today. As he was last week too. Roach, back for Handley. Trying to get himself a little bit more involved and closer to the action. Up for Freeman and Gale. Wayne Pearce standing very wide, as is Maguire. Last tackle for the Tigers. Freeman tries to milk it for a penalty. And I said it. I called it that way, and he did it very, very professionally.
Yes, Guy's been caught here in the no man's land, the area in which the laws state that if the player interferes with the dummy half, he must be penalised. Guy was probably trying to be cute, I don't know. We'll say that it was an accidental thing, but nonetheless, the laws are very precise about that.
Bill Anderson, no shot for goal. As coach, would you have been happy just to keep play down here?
Oh, certainly, Graeme. I don't think that they want to let Penrith get an opportunity to get up the other end of the field. All Balmain will do is hold it for 5 and then look for a little kick in goal to get the ball back from a line dropout.
They go blindside. Roach dummies. He's wide through. A metre short. He was the villain last week. Now he's one of the heroes, maybe. Elias. More dummies from Benny Elias. 2 metres out, Balmain. And only minutes away from a win that'll keep them alive in the Winfield Cup. Scott Gale, long pass out for Hanley. Again, he's gotten rid of Leichhardt. Dummies, straight through. Can he get it down? He was over the line and pushed back. 12,500 people on their feet. Hanley taking his time. He's in no hurry. His time's running out for Penrith. Sirenen. If they can push the ball out wide, they have the numbers, Balmain. Roach. Dummies again. Now it's Hanley. Long pass out for Podgy. He has Conlon. Steps inside. Very solid hit as Guy come in at the back. We're right on the 6th tackle as Podgy tries to creep down the blind. Great attack and great defence for Penrith. Well, the cheers you can hear as you watch the replay is for Manly Warringah, apparently, who have gone down in their match against West. Waiting for balls out on the field this game. Let's get back to the drama here at Leichhardt. McCallum wants it again. 16-14, maybe 60 seconds or so to go. Can they win one against the feed? They have. It was knocked on, though, by Freeman. Surely Penrith can't get out of here.
Shows the Balmain side winning it, but Freeman knocking on the State Bank replay.
Izzard. Well, if there's any magic left in Penrith, it would have to come from Izzard or Alexander, surely. And it's going to have to be nearly a length of the field performance. Geyer, absolutely monstered by Roach and also Sirenen. The clash in the forwards has been terrific, and it's not over yet. Simmons out of dummy half. Smashed to the ground by Maguire. So much emotion leading up to this game after their defeat last week against Manly. Now Mortimer with the cross kick out wide for his backs. It'll be a Balmain ball easy. Jack to bring it back. And with it, 6 tackles that should wrap up the game. There it is. And the crowd's gone crazy at Leichhardt. What a superb performance by Balmain, especially in the first half. Standing ovation for them. Great performance by the forwards. And a magnificent first 40 minutes by Hanley. Roach, as I said, villain 1 week, now the hero. 16-14.